Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we are talking about a totally new kind of internet infrastructure, one that could, power the future for both us and for artificial intelligence. It's called the Tao Private Network, or TPN for short.
All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll kick things off with a problem that I'm sure you've run into. Then we'll look at a really cool decentralized solution. We'll see who's actually using it, and then we're going to get into some seriously futuristic stuff, like an AI economy. And finally, we'll see how the whole thing pays for itself and rewards people.
Okay, first things first, let's talk about something super annoying. You're trying to do the right thing, right? You want to be private online, or maybe you're traveling and just want to watch your shows from back home. So you turn on your VPN and bam, blocked. Why does that happen? It's like the tool meant to give you access is the very thing getting you locked out. I mean, we've all been there, right? You're on vacation, you finally get some downtime, and you want to watch your favorite show. You get your VPN going, hit play, and nope, content not available in your region. Ugh. The whole reason for this mess comes down to one simple thing, where it looks like you're browsing from. And this slide really gets to the heart of the problem. See, your typical VPN sends all your traffic through these giant centralized data centers. Think of it like everyone using the same few public highways. Well, services like Netflix, they just put up roadblocks on those highways because they know exactly where they are. But there's another way. Residential IPs. These look like they're coming from a regular person's house, making them almost impossible to spot and block. So that's the golden ticket, right? How do you build a service that uses all those residential IPs? Well, that leads us right into the solution, which is a totally new peer-to-peer approach. Okay, so what is the Tao Private Network, or TPN? Well, think of it as a huge decentralized network built on something called BitTensor. Instead of some big company owning all the servers in a few data centers, TPN is made up of a global team of regular people, workers, you could call them, who share their internet bandwidth and their home IP address. And of course, they get rewarded for doing it. I love this quote. It calls TPN a Napsterized VPN network. And if you're old enough to remember Napster, that's a perfect way to think about it. Napster let people share music directly with each other, totally peer-to-peer. TPN does the exact same thing, but for internet connections. It creates this massive, decentralized web of exit points all over the world. All right, so who is this network actually for? It's pretty interesting because it's built for two totally different kinds of users. You've got your everyday users. People like you and me who just want a VPN that doesn't get blocked all the time. But then you have a whole other group, builders and developers, who need to tap into this network of IPs for their own apps and services. So for us regular folks, there's an app called WheelerVPN. It's super straightforward, works on your computer, your phone, the whole deal. And for about $8 a month, it connects you to the TPN network. So you get that top-notch residential IP that lets you bypass all those annoying geo-blocks. Now, for developers, this is where it gets really powerful. TPN has this API where you just pay for what you use. Companies can use it to, say, check flight prices from 100 different cities at once. Other VPN companies can even use TPN as the engine for their own service. You can even build it right into a crypto wallet. But that last one, AI agents? Yeah, that's where we start to head into the future. And that brings us to what might be the most mind-bending part of all this. We're talking about powering a future where autonomous software, AI agents, can buy their own resources and operate in a brand new kind of economy. Just think about it for a second. Your software can't exactly walk into a bank and open a checking account, right? But it can create its own crypto wallet in like a fraction of a second. And just like that, it has the ability to own and spend money. It can go out and buy whatever it needs to get a job done. And one of the first things it's going to need is internet access. And to make this possible for AIs, TPN has two really smart payment methods. First, there's something called X42. The best way to think of this is like a vending machine. The AI needs a connection for just a few seconds. Boom, it pays a fraction of a cent and gets it. Then there's another one called Handshake. This is more like an open tab at a bar. The agent can deposit some funds, use the network as much as it wants, and then just settle up and take back the change when it's finished. Okay, so this all sounds great, but you might be wondering, what makes this whole thing run? Why would anyone share their internet connection? Well, it all comes down to the incentives. It's all about how the network rewards you. So you have these folks called miners. They're not mining for coins in the traditional sense. They run software that connects a bunch of worker nodes to the network. And those worker nodes are the real providers here. They're the ones offering up their bandwidth and their IP address to the network. But here's the clever part. To make sure the network is actually good, miners are scored on a few things. Are you providing an IP from a unique part of the world? That's good. Is your connection fast with low latency? Great. And are you online and available pretty much all the time? Even better. The higher your score, the more you get rewarded. Simple as that.
And this incentive model has worked like a charm. The network has just exploded in size. It went from an early version that could only handle about 250 connections to this new mining pool system that has no limits. Right now, there are over 1,600 active workers on the network. And because of the way it's designed, it can just keep on growing.
So that really brings us to the big takeaway here. TPN is more than just a better VPN. It's a peek into a future where the internet is a basic utility that AIs can just buy off the shelf. So the real question we're left with is, once these autonomous agents have reliable, unstoppable access to the world's information, what are they going to build?